Yes, sir. It is visible, sir.
Okay, fine. Yeah, yeah. One second. Good afternoon to Manadal. Yeah. So now the topic is rural credit. Nothing but what are the sources of rural credit in India? For example, in order to produce the crops or in order to cultivate the crops, so the farmers need some credit. Nothing but some farmer needs some money to in order to purchase the fertilizers or seeds or cultivation charges, other processes or labor charges. They need some money. So nowadays, in agriculture sector, most of the farmers they don't have the particular nothing but they don't have money to spend some money for the purchasing the seeds or chemicals, other tools. So therefore, so the government, so they need to give some money, nothing but they need to provide some financial assistance to the agriculture sectors. So we need to understand what are the rural credits for the agriculture sector. So one by one, we'll come to know that what is the rural credit in our India, basically. Yeah. So here, the sources of rural credit in India. So as we know that most of the committees have pointed out that the credit flow to the agriculture sector is very low. For example, here, in order to provide some financial assistance to the farmers, so the government of India as well as other states of the government, so they are giving some rural credit to the farmer. Nothing but they are giving some financial assistance to the farmers to grow the crops. So to encourage the farmers also. So here, on the base of these things, the most of there are many committees are there on agriculture rural credits. So the various companies pointed out that the credit flow to agriculture sector is very low. Nothing but so they are giving more less priority to the agriculture sector. For example, see when they are giving, for example, the budget is 100 rupees. For example, so in the budget they need to allocate at least 30% to the agriculture sector, but they are providing it low only 5 to 10% of the budget to the only agriculture sector. Remaining is to the other sectors, right? So here, so these small and marginal farmers are neglected by the credit institution. At the same time, within the agriculture sector, I think you may know that there are four types of farmers, right? Marginal farmers, small farmers, medium farmers, and large farmers. So here, hello, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Here, I'm going to explain. Types of farmers. Types of farmers on the basis of land. On the basis of land. So here, see, first one, marginal farmer. Second one is a small farmer. Third one, medium farmer. Fourth one, large farmer. So what is a marginal farmer? Sometimes it based on the types of land. Nothing but, for example, types of land, nothing but whatever they are cultivating. For example, the paddy or wheat or fruits and vegetables. So the types of farmers is different from place to place, crop to crop. Okay. So marginal farmer, nothing but simply we can say they're less than 1 hectare, 1 hectare or 2.5 acres. For example, if you take vegetables, so I'm going to classify that. So less than 1 acre, less than 1 acre is called marginal farmer. So yeah, like that. So marginal farmer, nothing but those who have the less number of acre or less area, less cultivation area. So here and especially in the rural credit, these small and marginal farmers are neglected by the credit institutions. So we need to know the what are the credit institutions also we need to know. So there are mainly two types of mainly two types of sources of rural credit. Nothing but, so there are two sources of credit to the agriculture sector. So what are those? What are those? The first one is a non-institutional credit. Non-institutional credit. Second one is a institutional credit. What is mean by non-institutional credit and what is mean by institutional credit? So simple here. I think it is no here, right? Yeah. So here institutional credit, nothing but see non-institutional credit. There is a huge difference between non-institutional credit and institutional credit. So here non-institutional credit, nothing but which they don't have the particular institution. Non-institutional credit, nothing but which they don't have particular institution, nothing but which are not identified by the government. For example, money lenders. For example, in our village, Vaddi Vyaparastulo, are they identified by the government? Are they nothing but are they appointed by the government? No. So these are non-institutional credit, nothing but so which are not institutionalized or which are not properly established by the government is called non-institutional credits. What is the institutional credit? Institutional credit is a one of the institution which is instituted by nothing but which are established by the government. Institutional credit is one of the institution which is established by the government. That is called institutional credit. So what are the institutional credit? We will come to know that. See here, the government will give some financial assistance to the farmers and the cooperative banks, commercial banks, right? So these are 2-3 are called institutional credit. Institutional credit. For example, the government will give the loans and cooperative banks. I think most of the people know that what is mean of cooperative banks, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, cooperative banks and commercial banks. For example, SBI or ICICI or Canara Bank. These are called commercial banks, right? Cooperative banks. Andhra Pradesh Cooperative Bank, Telangana State Cooperative Bank. I think you might have listened these things, right? And government also will give financial assistance to the farmers. Nowadays, the Raita Bandhu scheme like that. So earlier, the government has given some amount of money to the farmers, and the cooperative banks they have given some loans, and the commercial banks they have given some loans. So what are the non-institutional credits? Landlords. What is meant by landlords? What is meant by landlords? Sonalika, Lavanya, Soumya, Sumalata, Srilata. Hello.
Who have land and gives land to the
Landlords
persons who
nothing but in the villages, those who have the more land, they are called landlords, right? Bhusamlu, we can say. Bhusam nothing but those who have the more acres of land, they are called
Yes.
landlords. In earlier, they are used to give loans, nothing but they are used to give some money to the other farmers by taking more rate of interest. Am I right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Next one is the agriculturist or agricultural money lender or money lender. Simple. Money lender simple. Vaddi Vyaparastulo. For example, in the earlier days, nowadays also, most of the farmers are taking money from the money lenders. In the villages, we can say Saukarlu. Okay. Or those with the money, they are going to give money to the farmers by taking more rate of interest. 5 rupees, 6 rupees, 7 rupees. Vaddi Vyaparastulo. Right? And there are some professional money lenders also. Money lenders. In earlier, there was a money lenders. Money ఇచ్చేవాళ్ళు అప్పు ఇచ్చేవాళ్ళు అండ్ ట్రేడర్స్ వర్తకులు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నవ్ డేస్ సావుకారులు అంటాం present for example they are going to give some for fertilizers, pesticides, and they are going to take output from the farmers at less rate, at low rate of price, less price, right? So traders and relatives and friends, most of the farmers are they are taking money from their friends and relatives on the basis of rate of interest or sometimes at free of cost also, right? So and others. So this from 4 to 9 is called non-institutional credit. Non-institutional credit. I think I hope you understood.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. what are the institutional credit and what are the non-institutional credit? Let me know first. What are the institutional credit?
Government, cooperatives, commercial banks.
What are the non-institutional credit? Landlords, money lenders, and professional money lenders, traders, relatives, and friends, right? So here,
Relatives, traders,
yeah.
and
So
others.
for example,
Friends.
if you take the data, how much they have given? Nothing but see, in 1960s, so the money lenders have given 47% out of 100%. Most of the farmers have taken money or credit from the money lenders, 47%. Remember this. 100 రూపాయలు తీసుకుంటే 100 రూపాయల్లో 47 రూపాయలు మాత్రం వడ్డీ వ్యాపారస్తుల నుంచి తీసుకున్నారు. సో ద గవర్నమెంట్ వాళ్ళని తీసుకునేంత ఓన్లీ జస్ట్ 66.6%, less percentage. For example, if you combine all these three, around only 17.3%, 17.3% out of 100%, the institutional credit only 17%. Remaining 83 or 82% of the credit has taken from non-institutional credit. అంటే గవర్నమెంట్ ప్రభుత్వ రంగ సంస్థల నుంచి కాకుండా ప్రభుత్వేతర రంగాల నుంచి ఎక్కువ వడ్డీ తీసుకోవడం జరిగింది. ఎప్పుడు 1967లో. At the same time in 1977, if you take the data, see, so only that has somewhat it has been increased, but compared with the non-institutional credit, it is less, very less. See, 6.7, 20.1, 22.2. It means around 30% of the loans were taken from government side and institutional. So remaining 70% is taken from the non-institutional. So year by year, so the government, the institutional credit has been increased. For example, see, from year to year, the cooperative banks has been increased, and as the commercial banks also loans has increased. For example, see, if you take this data 30 and 50, so when it comes to 1980s, 82, the government, the institutional credit has given more and more compared to the non-institutional credit. Nothing but most of the farmers have taken loans from the institutional credit, such as government, cooperative banks, and commercial banks, right? So after that, 1995 also, most of the people, they have nothing more than 75 more than 75% of the loans or credit has been taken from the institutional credit, not non-institutional credit. Only less percent of the people have taken non-institutional credit. I think you hope understood, right? So at present also,
Yes.
most of the people are taking loans from the institutional credit, such as government, cooperative banks, and commercial bank. Only less percent, nothing but. So at present, most of the people are taking from credit from the traders, money lenders. Okay, and most of the people are not approaching the friends and relatives because due to some things only they are not taking. So only most of the people are taking from money lenders and traders. Okay, so here out of non-institutional credit, most of the people are taking from money lenders. ఇక్కడ నాన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషనల్ క్రెడిట్ లో అగ్రికల్చర్ ఒకటి, మనీ లెండర్స్ ఒకటి, ట్రేడర్స్ ఒకటి. ఇందులో రెండింటిలో కంపేర్ చేసిందంటే మనీ లెండర్స్ నుంచి ఎక్కువ తీసుకుంటున్నారు ఈ యొక్క 26th centuryలో. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఇస్ వన్ ఆఫ్ ద బేసిక్ ఐడియా ఆఫ్ ద ఇన్స్టిట్యూషనల్ క్రెడిట్ అండ్ నాన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషనల్ క్రెడిట్. సో యాజ్ వి నో దట్ non-institutional credit, money lenders, village merchants or agents, landlords, relatives, and friends. So here I'm going to speak. See, money lenders. What are the money lenders? Money lenders charge at high rate of interest. So I think most of the people, those who have come from the rural background, I think they know that, right? So do you know that how they can charge it? Sonalika, where are you from? Sonalika,
I'm from
you are from
Hyderabad itself, sir.
I think you don't know particularly. I think. Divya, Divya, Bhagalakshmi, Supriya.
Sir,
Where are you from?
village sir.
ఎక్కడమ్మా?
ఇక్కడ అంటే షాద్ నగర్ దగ్గరలో sir.
Okay, Shad Nagar. See here, for example, in villages, for example, the farmers they will take money from the money lenders. Nothing but ఎవరైతే వడ్డీ ఇస్తారో వాళ్ళ దగ్గర తీసుకుంటారు. ఎంత రేట్ ఆఫ్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ తీసుకుంటారు? తక్కువ రేటా, వడ్డీ రేట్ ఎక్కువ రేట్ ఉంటుంది వాళ్ళ దగ్గర? సో మోర్ దాన్ 3 rupees, for example, 3 rupees for 100, not 1000. Okay, so here see they will charge high rate of interest. Money lenders will charge high rate of nothing but at high rate of interest. So in the rural areas, money lenders are most important source of rural credit. So in the rural villages, they are the main source of the money or credit. In 1950-51 and 1990-91, they provided 90%. In 1950లో తీసుకుంటే మనీ లెండర్స్ విలేజ్లలో 91% మాత్రం వాళ్ళు ఇచ్చేవారు. అంటే 100 రూపాయలలో 90 రూపాయలు 91 రూపాయి వాళ్ళే వడ్డీ ఇచ్చేవాళ్ళు. మిగతాదంతా వేరే నుంచి తీసుకునేవాళ్ళు. 1991కి వచ్చే వరకు వాళ్ళ యొక్క శాతం తగ్గించండి 32%. బికాస్ వాళ్ళు ఎక్కువ వడ్డీ అంటే ఎక్కువ వడ్డీకి ఇవ్వడం వల్ల చాలా మంది ఏం చేశారంటే దే విల్ టేక్ ద మనీ, నథింగ్ బట్ దే విల్ టేక్ ద లోన్ ఫ్రమ్ ద గవర్నమెంట్, నథింగ్ బట్ ఎట్ లో రేట్ ఆఫ్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్. రైట్? ఐ థింక్ యూ హావ్ అండర్స్టూడ్. అర్థమైందా?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
sir.
how to measure the control the money lender? For example, measures to control the money lenders. So here the state government have enacted laws to control the regulate the activities of money lenders. Nothing but the government has taken a act to control the money lender because they are going to charge high rate of interest, and most of the farmers are committed suicides by they are not able to pay the rate of interest as well as principal amount. So therefore the government has taken some act or measures to control the money lenders. First one, see, money lenders have to get themselves registered, and money lenders are required to take out license. వాళ్ళు ఇచ్చారనుకుంటే లైసెన్స్ తీసుకోవాలి. అండ్ దే కెన్ నాట్ చార్జ్ హై రేట్ ఆఫ్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్, నథింగ్ బట్ రేట్ ఆఫ్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ హైయర్ దెన్ ద ఫిక్స్డ్ బై ద గవర్నమెంట్. అంటే ప్రభుత్వం నిర్ణయించిన వడ్డీ రేటు కంటే ఎక్కువ తీసుకోనికి వాళ్ళకి వీలు లేదు. అండ్ డామినేషన్ ఆఫ్ మనీ లెండర్స్ ఆర్ ఎలిమినేషన్ ఆఫ్ దెమ్ ఆల్ టుగెదర్ ఫ్రమ్ రూరల్ సైన్స్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ రూరల్ సైన్స్ నుంచి వాళ్ళని ఆటోమేటిక్గా డిమాలిష్ చేయాలి. డిమాలిష్ అంటే తీసివేయాలి, లేకపోతే ఎలిమినేట్ చేయాలి. So here it is found probably the control money lending activities. For example, see why the farmers are they are taking more money from the money lenders, because the dowry system. కట్నాలు ఉండడం వల్ల ఎక్కువ డబ్బులు తీసుకుంటారు. రైట్? కట్టాలు కన్నా పిల్లలు ఉంటారు, పెళ్లి చేయాలి కాబట్టి ఆటోమేటిక్ వాళ్ళు ఏం చేయాలంటే they need to take money from the money lenders. If you approach the bank, so I need to get nothing but I need to marry of my daughters or children. So the banks will not give the loans. Therefore, they are approaching the money lenders. So they are charging high rate of interest. So therefore, so the dowry system, due to dowry system, they are giving more rate of interest, and spending on birth and death rate. For example, say if you take a birth and death, so we need to spend a lot of amount on birth and death. So that's why we are taking money from the money lenders. And drinking or not eliminated, nothing but say drinking habit. So this is one of the thing which is need to take in place. And institutional credit. So the government. So here, as I told you in the beginning, the government has given credit only 4% of loans out of 100%. I told you in the beginning. In 50s, in 60s, only 6%. It is 50s. In 50s, only 4%. Up to 60, in 69 to 60, the government has given 6.6% out of 100%. So when the natural climate occurs due to the droughts, wars, and earthquakes, the government has given Takkaway loans at less lower rate of interest. This is very important. The Takkaway loans given by the government. Remember, Takkaway loans will be given by the government at low rate of interest. Simple, remember, low rate of interest. The government will give the Takkaway loans when the natural climate occurs. Means war వచ్చినప్పుడు కానీ, వరదలు వచ్చినప్పుడు కానీ, కరువు వచ్చినప్పుడు కానీ, ఎర్త్క్వేక్స్ వచ్చినప్పుడు కానీ, భూకంపాలు వచ్చినప్పుడు కానీ ప్రభుత్వం అనేది తక్కువ లోన్స్ అనేది ఇవ్వడం జరుగుతుంది. తక్కువ వడ్డీ ధర ఇవ్వడం జరుగుతుంది. The cooperative banks, as we know that the cooperative banks are mainly two types on the base of time, short term, medium term, and long term. Short term, medium term, there are three types. So UPCAB, DCCB, and APCB. See, for example, if you take here now, if you're discussing about in Telangana, so this is called TS Coop. That is called Telangana Cooperative Bank. Okay, Telangana Cooperative Bank. Okay, so it is state level. Telangana Cooperative Bank is state level. Then DCCBs. So DCCB full form District Central Cooperative Banks. Remember, DCCB is here in names only District Central Cooperative Bank. So it is at district level. And here see Agriculture Primary Cooperative Bank, APCBs. That is Agriculture Primary Cooperative Bank at village level or mandal level. Okay. So this is very important question which has in 2013 or 14 this question has come. Okay, ఈ క్వశ్చన్ వచ్చింది. arrange the chronological order of the banks. Arrange the chronological order, nothing but state level, district level, mandal level or village level. So if gurtu pettukondi eppudaina it TS Coop, nothing but Telangana State Cooperative Bank. Okay, and district cooperative, district central cooperative bank, on the agriculture primary cooperative bank. Okay, so it is state level la మీకు కన్ఫ్యూజ్ కావద్దమ్మా. సో డిస్ట్రిక్ట్ సెంట్రల్ ఉన్నప్పుడు సెంట్రల్ అనుకోవద్దు, ఓన్లీ డిస్ట్రిక్ట్ లెవెలే. ఇది స్టేట్ లెవెల్, ఇది డిస్ట్రిక్ట్ లెవెల్, ఇది విలేజ్ లెవెల్ అండ్ మండల్ లెవెల్. ప్లీజ్ రిమెంబర్ దిస్ క్వశ్చన్ ఇస్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. అండ్ లాంగ్ టర్మ్ లోన్స్. సో లాంగ్ టర్మ్ లోన్స్ దేర్ ఆర్ 2 types, ALDB, that is called agricultural land development banks. So it is at state level. And PALDB, this is called primary agricultural land development bank.